What's up guys, Goji Boy here, and today I am bringing you a review on the newly released SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Gaim. Let's get started. So here we have the newly released SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Gaim in all his glory. And man, every time Shinkocchou Seihou comes out with a Rider or Super Sentai figure, since these guys are coming back, it's just like, dang. Stunning. It's just fantastic. The overall design of this guy just screams, I am actually a dude inside this suit, and it looks great. And the colors, forget it. Super bright oranges. Those blues actually stand out in comparison to the original release, which we'll see in the comparison later, but this actually looks blue. The other one just didn't really look like it was a blue coming out from there. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into the articulation. We're gonna do a quick spin. Bam, bam. Head, can't really look up. I mean, clearly his helmet is just like impeding that, but he can look down quite far. That's nice. Ball joint, so it can move side to side, left and right easily. His arms can strike that T-pose no problem. Even better so, since the shoulder pads do move out of the way, which the original one also did. But in the case of this one, they actually sit flush. The other one, they kind of just sat up here almost, and really just did not look too good. So again, these are on hinges. This right here is a softer material, so it does allow for flexibility when moving his arms forward, which they can move forward about that much. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His hands are on ball pegs naturally. So there's that. The back side of the figure, he also has this orange piece of his armor that is on a hinge, so it can move up and down. Original one could not do that, it was fixed. But again, in regards to the new designs for the Shinkocchou Seihou, the armor pieces are going to completely come off. So that was to be expected for that piece. So can lean back hella far. He's got nice chest movement as well as waist articulation to allow that, which therefore allows him to move forward quite a bit, although there is a good chance that you may pop out the lock seed from the driver, but he can move forward. The belt is a floating piece, and his armor does, I believe, kind of give a little bit of way, and there goes the lock seed. But yes, you can show it will pop right back into place. We'll just make sure not to lose it. The saber on the driver does move. Original one also moved. Pretty cool. He also actually comes with the pineapple and the strawberry ones, which is a nice additive, which those are going to be separate options parts coming out in the near future. Super detailed as well with the numberings on those lock seeds, as well as the one for the orange. The rest of the Sengoku driver is just looking beautiful. You can even see a side view of Gaim on there. Kick up that far, back that far. Die cut, double jointed knees on him. Very, very nice ankle rocker. This guy, he got some real, look at that. That ankle rocker is crazy. And the toe pivot and the bottom of his shoes, his boots, the detail on there. Beautiful. Looks like it's like the crest of his head is awesome. Super, super cool. Love it. And of course, splitsies. Boom, easy. This guy does it all. Fantastic. I am going to go ahead and showcase first and foremost the rest of the accessories. I'm going to go ahead and show the weapons, and I'm going to leave the hands in a tray just because the hands, honestly, they all pretty much look the same. They're all sword holding hands, so for the most part, you're not going to notice real differences on camera unless you're actually messing with this guy in person. So I'm not going to show that into too much detail. But first off, we have I believe this is the Dai Maru. Very nicely sculpted. Nice and bright oranges to complement our new rider. Here we have the Muso Saber. Very nice as well. Has a nice details right here, and the slots for the lock seeds. And you can also attach the two of them together. Original one also had that gimmick, but you can do it here as well. So there's that. We also have a closed version of the orange lock seed, also with the numbering. There's that. And you also get a separate orange faceplate. This is meant to swap out with future figures, since this one is a bit wider. So there's that. And he does come with, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of hands and an extra one down here. But again, these are all fairly similar, just sword holding hands, just because the two blades, their hilts, one is definitely thicker than the other, so you're gonna need separate hands to hold them properly so they're not slipping and sliding when you're trying to do photos, posing, etc. So you're gonna have several different hands to hold the two different blades, as well as the lock seeds and just stylish hands as the ones that he is currently sporting right out of the package. So still amazing. With that, I am going to go ahead and pop off his head so that you can see what I mean about the armor. So this just slides right off. He has 4 little pegs, or excuse me, slots right there, which this pegs into, and it holds very well, honestly. It doesn't really budge when you're posing him. It sticks nicely, so you don't feel it like slipping and sliding when you're messing around with him. So that's very cool. And this is pretty much going to be the simple swaps for future releases. So next will be Baron, and when it comes to the head, you can pop faceplate off, boom, exposing that. And I believe this also comes off. I will leave it alone though, and I only say that because he fell earlier and I know it comes off because of that, because he fell off and this just fell, and I was like, oh no, I straight up broke him, but it looks like it's meant to come off, but I didn't realize that. But yeah, so this also slides right out, and that's how you're able to go ahead and complete the swaps with the other riders, which once they come out I will be showcasing as well, and I cannot wait for that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the size comparison. So real quick, I just wanted to go ahead and come back to this segment. I failed to realize that there's actually an extra step when it comes to the whole armor removal. This goes a little bit further, and you can actually take off the front and back pieces, and that is what will allow you to successfully complete the armor swap with the future figures. So I'm really curious to see what this is going to look like in hand when Baron comes out, and complete the swaps, just because the way that it shows it in the instructions. I mean, again, that looks like it's the final step. You take off the, pop off the head, then slide off the armor, and then you go into the actual Under Armour itself and just exchange it. But we'll go ahead and cross that bridge when we get to it next month. So let's move on. So kicking things off with the size comparison, we're gonna go ahead and obviously show our newly released Shinkocchou Seihou on the left to the original Kamen Rider Gaim on the right. And this figure is 10 years old at this point. So you're gonna clearly see these differences between the new guy versus the old guy. I mean, the proportions on the Shinkocchou Seihou just look so much nicer. And this is always the case, I'm gonna say, when it comes to the Shinkocchou Seihous. It just actually looks like there's somebody in the suit. The suit details and the ripples, like on the tights, if you will, just look fantastic. The coloration on the new release as well is much more vibrant. The oranges are just shouting orange, and the blues are just there, just looking fantastic. The older one definitely has a more muted tone. You're gonna notice as well the head on the new release is definitely bigger, but it just scales perfectly with the rest of the figure. So I'm gonna do a quick rotation as well. Right here. Oh, stay, buddy. I also like the fact that the shoulder pads right here actually sit more flush. This guy, it just never went down. It just stayed in that fixed position. That's as low as they will go. But yeah, super, super cool. I'm happy. I am a happy boy when it comes to Kamen Rider. So we're gonna move the old figure out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and post up Kyoryou Red, which is one of the newer releases when it comes to the Shinkocchou Seihou line, right here. And I'm also gonna go ahead and bring in, for the heck of it, since I just got him, the newly released SH Figuarts Minato from the Top 99 line, right there for the size comparison. And these guys just pair up beautifully. Superhero time right there, fantastic. Get them out of the way. I'm also gonna go ahead and move this guy out of the way, and I'm gonna showcase real quick a comparison between the blades. So to the left we have the new one versus the old one right here in my right hand. I'm gonna say it's the same thing with the colors, where this one right here is just much more orange in comparison to this one's just muted. And they are, I'm gonna say, the same size, really. The tips of the blades are slightly different, but overall the size is very similar. Now the Muso Saber, on the other hand, is quite bigger on the new release. So again, on the left is the new one, on the right is the old one. Definitely longer blade, and just overall the design on the new one is bigger to, of course, fit with the proportions of the figure itself. But there's the back side, and there we have it. So let's go ahead and move to the final thoughts. So what's the verdict on the newly released SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Gaim? Get him. This guy is fantastic. I mean, it's always night and day when you compare the original release to the Shinkocchou Seihous that end up coming out several years later, and this is no exception. The mold, sculpting, paintwork, accessories, just everything about this guy is totally improved. Just hands down, awesome figure. And honestly, I'll probably be getting every other figure that comes out of the Gaim line. And I say that just because when this line first came out, like more than 10 years ago, I was copping them all of them pretty much. And I don't normally do that when it comes to Kamen Rider lines. I'll just get like the main rider, maybe the secondary, depending what the suits are like and what have you. But I try to just stick with the main riders, just because it gets expensive. The hobby gets expensive. But when it came to Gaim, I was snagging them all, and chances are I'll probably be doing the same thing with this current lineup for Shinkocchou Seihou, and I'm excited for it. I am really excited for it, especially with the swapping out the options parts between the riders. That way you don't have to actually get full-blown figures all over again. So I'm down. I cannot wait. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Check out my Instagram at gojiboy93, where you're going to find photos of this guy as well as other figures in my collection. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.